Hey, what's up guys, love everyone. Today, as I said in my video from yesterday, I was to do some more like technological stuff obviously. Because I'm interested in it and I think I'm gonna be able to deliver some kind of useful information at least. So, let's get into it. Basically, AMD have released, they're planning on releasing, they're in development now of making their new Ryzen CPUs, Ryzen processors basically. And if you see this table, the very scrappy one I made on Paint, you can see at the bottom here, oh god, this is gonna be like amazing. That's basically AMD Ryzen 2000 series, which is the ones we currently have on the market. Yeah, beautifully drawn with paint. Yep. So all of these are the ones we currently have. So we do get some decent performance. I mean, there was like the top CPUs are one of the best, and personally, I do have a Ryzen 5 2600, and so far I have seen no problems, and I feel like it wasn't challenged yet. Even I did some like gaming on it, and it wasn't really that much challenged. So for gaming, even a Ryzen 3 2200G would be enough, I think. I mean, yeah, it's in total it's like 14 gigahertz, so it is pretty much enough. Unless you're playing some kind of weird, like, I don't say weird, but just a heavy based AI game. Like there's like basically if you're simulating like 100, basically if you're simulating battle royale, like there's literally 99 computer players and you or something. But there are rumors of, well, it's confirmed now that there is AMD Ryzen 3000 series, and I've actually found some more information. So you can see that there's a Ryzen 9 3800X, but there is also a Ryzen 9 3850X. Now it has been confirmed, I think. At least it's big idea, or it's confirmed. But I think it's confirmed. And yeah, generally speaking, it seems like there's actually an even better processor, which is obviously better. So what does that mean? So Notepad, I have looked at three different AMD CPUs and how they compare to one of the best Intel CPUs. So first of all, we have the top ones. We have a Ryzen 3700 standard without an X. It has 12 cores, 24 threads. So obviously that's a lot. Like mine only has 6 and 12 threads, but it's still good. So it just tells you how good it is. 3.8 gigahertz clock speed per core, which is pretty good. That's pretty much Intel level, like maybe Intel 5th to 7th gen level. If you know what that means, you know what that means. But if you don't, it's kind of hard to explain. But basically, Intel have better CPUs when it comes to single core processing. However, AMD do tend to want to have more cores and stuff. Therefore, they went for 12 cores, and it's still good. 3.8 GHz is still really good. And it can be overclocked to 4.6 GHz, which means that normally you get 35.6 GHz of total clock speed. Probably a bit less, but I'm not gonna continue it. It's just like brief. around 35 gigahertz basically. And if you overclock it, you can get up to 55.2 gigahertz of of clock speed, which is massive. Like, if you're editing a lot, this bad boy is enough. Like, there are better ones, but there's only like one thing that I can think of, which you're gonna need them for. But literally, you can edit 4K videos, I think, pretty easily. Like, most of the people that do like massive editing have like 30-40 gigahertz of CPU clock speed. And that's 55.2. It can go up to like 55.2, which is mad. Now, it also has a decent consumption of 95 watts, which isn't too bad. You know, you gotta make sure how much power it consumes, just because, you know, first of all, you wanna be energy saving. Second of all, you obviously need to calculate how much watts do you need to get the correct power supply. Now, there's a Ryzen 3700X, which has also 12 cores, 24 threads. However, it has 4.2 gigahertz of clock speed per core, which is 0.4 more, and also 0.4 more clock speed per core when it comes to overclocking. So the total clock speed for it is at 50.4 gigahertz, and the total clock speed is when you overclock it, it's at 60 gigahertz, and it consumes 10 more watts, which is, I mean, not too bad. And basically, if you're not into overclocking or you want to keep your warranty, maybe a 3700X may be better. However, again, the cooling is not the best because they don't come with a good heatsink. Oh, they don't come at all. I forgot which one it is. But basically, the normal ones without the X have better cooling, and that's why I didn't go with a 2006. That's why I didn't go with Ryzen 5 2600X, but just normal Ryzen 5 2600. I mean, because my system, there are like 2 fans in my system, so unless you have a lot of like fans or like water cooling, then you should be alright. But if you don't have like a very strong cooling system, then maybe try to get the one without the X. That's where a problem may come, because the Ryzen 9 3800, basically all the Ryzen 9s are with worse cooling. Therefore, that's as far as you can go. So maybe investing in better cooling may be the solution that you need, maybe something that you need to do if you want those very high clock speeds. Right, so Ryzen 9 3800X, 16 cores, 32 threads, 3.9 gigahertz per core, which is a bit lower, but you have 4 more of them, so you get 4 more of these bad boys. And you have 62.4 gigahertz without overclocking it, and 75.2 gigahertz when you overclock it. I don't even know why you need it, but I don't know. But its power consumption is 125 watts, which is getting a bit high now. I mean, the only thing that you would need around 75 gigahertz would be like trying to edit videos in the future, like 8K when it comes out, stuff like that, because 8K is slowly starting to, you know, be realistic. I mean, you know, be a thing in the global market. Like 8K TVs are starting to like being developed and stuff. So if you wanna edit in 8K, then that's probably good. Like, I mean, either you edit any video, you render it very fast, and it also won't make a change. It will make a change. It's gonna be slow, but it won't be like you won't feel like, you know, it's obviously like very slow when you have 75.2 gigahertz, even if you're editing like an 8K video rendering of editing here. And its power consumption, as I said, is 125 watts. So now, that's the best Intel processor that is widely used in Intel Core i series, which is the Intel Core i9 9980XE. There's a normal Intel Core i9 9900X, but this one is better. Well, they made an improvement on it, and it has 18 cores, so they're actually beating AMD with cores, and 36 threads, which is obviously just mad. I swear that Apple stuff, like an Apple products, like, you know, their computers and whatnot, MacBooks, whatever they are, I swear that they do have 18 cores and 36 threads, so, you know, and people do like editing and doing stuff on Apple products, so just gives you a perspective or a point. However, it's 3 GHz per core if you don't overclock it. But if you do overclock it, you get 50% up to 50% higher performance, which gets you at 4.5 GHz per core. So, with a normal, non-overclocked Intel Core i9 9980XE, you have 54 GHz of total clock speed at the maximum. Pretty much. But if you like overclocking, you can turn this bad boy into 81 GHz. However, it does have a quite significant power consumption. It's actually 165 watts, which is 40 higher than Ryzen 9 3800, which, you know, you gotta need like almost 1,000 watt power supply then, if you want like good stuff with it. Maybe not necessarily, but you know, probably 700 watt plus is what you need at this point. 700 is a minimum, I think. If you want, depends if you want the graphics card, but even without it, like 600 still, like, is at minimum. So, there's another AMD processor, and it is the Ryzen 9 3850X, which has 16 cores, 32 threads. However, the clock speed per core is at 4.3 GHz, which is the highest on this list. It is, indeed. And you can overclock it to 5.1 GHz. The big advantage that you get is that without overclocking, you get 68.8 GHz, which is the highest on the list. i9 9980XE goes to, it's at 54, and Ryzen 9 3800X is at 62.4. So if you don't like overclocking, you like keeping your warranty, you're still gonna have like a mad 68.8 GHz, which is just magnificent. And if you want to overclock it, you get your clock speed to 81.6 GHz, which is a bit higher, just a tiny bit higher than Intel Core i9 9980XE. But I think it's gonna be cheaper, yeah. And the power consumption is 135 watts, which is 10 more than Ryzen 9 3800X, but it's 30 watts lower than Intel Core i9 9980XE. So, I will show you the cost of Intel Core i9. Its price, well, it is pretty high. As you can see, let's just say, yeah, it's at around $2,000, so $2,000 basically, and that's the problem, you see. If you are paid $2,000 for this, and I bet that the Ryzen 9 3850X will cost no more than $1,000, so it's at least half price, if not even more. I will be surprised if it's gonna be like over $700. I think it's gonna be like $500-600, you know, because AMD's, I don't say it's cheap, but they do have good deals, good value for money, way better than Intel in most scenarios. Most scenarios. So guys, I hope that you did learn something about the new upcoming CPUs. And if you want to do some like next level 8K editing or something and rendering, then maybe you may look at buying this in the future. You know, if you want to make like a 8K hour animation or something, then you know that's not a bad option, I would say. But you have to invest in it. Not gonna lie, it's gonna cost a pretty penny. But I hope that you like this video. I hope that you just like this new concept that I wanna bring into this channel. So, like it if you liked, subscribe for more. It was me, Slapdev, and I'll see you later.